Good morning. How many of you remember, this will be some nostalgia for you, how many of you remember what a movie theater is? I know it's not quite nostalgia yet, but I remember years ago being at the Tivoli, and that's a cool theater in Downers Grove, and I went to go see Dumb and Dumber. I got to remember, I worked with students, so I had a reason to do this. And in the middle of the show, I have a friend who was there. I didn't know she was there. We'll call her Becky Gumber because that's her name. And she was roaring with laughter. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, like I can't believe I'll just say she's not younger than I am. That's all I'll say. She's not younger than I am. And anyway, after the movie, I tracked her down because I knew she was there. I don't think she knew I was there. And she looked at me almost indignantly. What are you doing here? Like, you're a pastor. Why are you at this movie? I'm like, I'm here hanging out with students. You know, this is kind of what I do. What are you doing here? And you seem to enjoy the movie very much. Well, that was one of the things about being a youth pastor for many years is probably saw some movies that I wouldn't have normally seen. Remember Ace Ventura, Pet Detective? When Jim Carrey's funny, he is very funny, and there are some scenes in that movie, oh my goodness. So there's one scene where he's doing this slow motion stuff, and he's pretending like he's in a football game, but he says this thing, "Put me in the game, coach." I'm probably saying it wrong, whatever, but you know, God wants you in the game. God doesn't want you sitting on the bench. Bob Goff in his book, Live in Grace, Walk in Love, number 262 says, God didn't give you a dream to keep you benched the whole game. He's calling you onto the field. I can remember, I think it was summer 1969, the first year that we had Little League in our town. My brother was an all-star. We were on the same team. And I was not an all-star. I did not get a hit. I'm not sure I hit the ball fair that year. I never walked. And we played 6-inning games. And with 2 outs in the 6th inning, I would jog out and Larry Vach would shrug and he'd be so disappointed he couldn't finish the game. But I got in the game. And I got a first place trophy because we won the championship. But I like what Goff says, because I think growing up he was on some teams and he wasn't necessarily an all-star. He said, sitting on the bench gives you some time to fear what might happen. You fear this will be another night of no playing time, where you've suited up and warmed up and then you end up shivering on the sidelines. You fear you're letting down the people who came to watch you. At least that usually wasn't a problem, that people were coming out to watch me, and who you wanted so badly to impress. You fear you're wasting your time devoting yourself to something you're obviously not very good at. You fear failure. These are the things that go through your mind when you're sitting on the bench. Well, here's the deal. You know, one of the nice things with baseball, now I wanted to be a Major League Baseball player, and I figured out by the time I was 14, a freshman in high school, I made the team, but I knew I wouldn't play much, and so that's when I switched to tennis. But I knew I wasn't going to be a Major League Baseball player, but I did reach a point where on Little League, I became an all-star. And you know, it's just fun to be in the game. It's fun to, you know, you get older and you get better at something. What are the dreams that God's given you? What are the talents you have? We're not talking about baseball and tennis here, folks. What are the things that God's put on your heart to do? What are you afraid you're going to fail at? I just want to tell you today, go for it. Just look up to God and just say, put me in the game, coach. Give me a shot. Give me a shot. I might fail, but you know who's going to be your biggest cheerleader even if you fail? It's going to be Him. I love this verse from 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 7. To each one, the manifestation of the Spirit is given for the common good. Everybody has gifts and talents. The key is, how are we going to use them for God? I'm sitting here in a church with all these chairs that are socially distanced, and 3 over here, 2 over there, 1 here. If 44 years ago someone told me you got to sit in one of those chairs and you can't do anything, you can't go to Haiti, you can't go to Appalachia, I don't think I'd still be a Christian. I really don't. Today, I just want to challenge you. Look up to God and say, put me in the game. You have talents. Use them for the glory of God. Have a great day.